Hello, everyone, and welcome to my session today on accounting concepts, principles, and conventions. Hello, this is Prathik Gupta here, and I welcome you to Unacademy, India's largest online learning portal where you get unlimited access to a lot of content, so courses, resources of Unacademy, and you can pick up the subject or the topic of your choice. You can pick the educator and listen to the educator and his sessions whenever you want. So I welcome you once again to Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform. There is another vertical that is Crack CA exams with us. So I am a part of the CA Foundation and Intermediate course, and it's a privilege to be addressing you fine people today. A little about the educator today. Hello, I'm Prathik Gupta. I am a Bachelor of Commerce from Christ College, Bangalore University. I am an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I am an associate member of the Cost Accountants of India. I'm also an associate member of the Company Secretaries of India. Along with this, I'm also a law graduate from Karnataka State Law University and currently a practicing chartered accountant. And also a CA tutor to CA students online and offline. Prior to starting my practice, I worked with SR Bartley Boy and Associates. That is the Indian member firm of Ernst & Young Global in the Audit and Assurance Department. Post that, I worked with Ernst & Young Global, Ernst & Young India in the M&A department, that is Mergers and Acquisitions department. And then I worked with the Manipal Group as a corporate controller of their Indian as well as the German entity. Post that, I came back and I started my own firm. So thank you and welcome to my session once again. Thank you, Pratik. Thank you, Bhargavi. Thank you, Ritija. Thank you, Manjari. Thanks for joining. Welcome to my session. Hi, Bhargavi. Hi, Ritija. Hi, Manjari. Hi, Pratik. How are you? I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope you all are safe and are taking care of yourself and your family, right? I request you all to be very safe. All right. So once you subscribe to the Unacademy platform, what do you get? You get daily live classes on your favorite topic by your favorite educator. Not only this, not only listening to the session by your favorite educator at the time, you also get to discuss and clear your doubts on a real-time basis with your educator, which may not be possible on the other platforms. You need not wait for a day. You don't need not take an appointment. You don't need to book a slot. And right there in a live session, you can ask your doubts and get it cleared by the educator, and also have live discussions with them on the topic of your interest. So Unacademy does provide this option to you. Unacademy also conducts live tests and quizzes to help you evaluate your level of performance, so that you identify your weak areas and you work harder, and you identify your strong areas and you do not spend more time on it, and you spend lesser time and you spend more time on your weak areas. So the live tests and live quizzes help you in your preparation and evaluation and self-performance or self-evaluation as to where you stand and what is the areas you need to work harder and what is the areas you are good enough. And then they provide structured courses. When I say structured courses in the sense that the courses provided by Unacademy help you in your step-by-step preparation for the sessions, and so that maximum effort is put in so that it is ensured that you do not miss out on important topics. The important topics are covered by separate sessions or part of the whole session. And lastly, and most importantly, the Unacademy platform gives you unlimited access to the various courses, resources, and content that Unacademy has to provide to you. And the best part is you can access this content at any time of the day according to your choice. Nothing stops you. So I hope you go ahead and make use of this opportunity. Hello, Amulya Kumari. Hello, Anushka Jain. Hello, Radha Mohanty. Thanks for joining in. Welcome to my session. I hope you guys are doing well and are safe. I hope you and your family are safe as well. Pratik, you asked me a question. Have you teach all the subject of CA Foundation? Well, I try to, but if there is anything in specific that all of you want me to take up, or if there is any matter that you are finding it difficult to understand, please let me know. And I will be more than happy to take a dedicated session, or maybe more than one sessions, until you are satisfied with that topic. So if there is any particular topic where Pratik, Radha, Amulya, Ritija, and the others, if you want me to take up, for example, Bhargavi. So please let me know, and I will be happy to take those sessions exclusively for you, rather than taking general sessions. If you want me to take any special session for you, let me know, and I will take the next session on that topic. That's not a problem. Yes, Pratik says accounts partnership chapter. The entire chapter on that, Pratik, because if I remember right, accounts partnership chapter is quite big. It is on admission, retirement, dissolution, death of a partner, and all these topics can be quite big. Is there any particular topic you want me to take up? Even the others are most welcome to tell me the topics that they want me to take a session on. I will be more than happy to take a session for you on the topics that you are finding difficult to understand. Okay, so Pratik wants a partnership accounts concepts clear session. Okay, Pratik, that's noted. Please note, very soon there will be a session on that. I will be taking up a session on clearing the concepts on partnership accounts. Yes, others, if there is anything else, please let me know, and I will also plan for that session very soon. Anything, any topic that you want me to specifically cover, I will be happy to do it. One topic, yes, as Pratik has given, is partnership accounts chapter, the concepts clearing session. All right, I will try and make a session on that very soon. Pratik, you will get your session. And if you have not followed me on the Unacademy app, I request you to follow my profile so that you get your live updates as to when I'm going to take up a session and on what topic I'm going to take up a session. Also, I request the others on this platform right now listening to me, if you have not followed my profile on the Unacademy app, please go to the Unacademy app and my profile and click on the follow button, simply because you will get live notifications of whenever I take a session on whatever topic I do. All right, and in case you know other friends of yours and other known people to you who are looking for similar sessions, please bring them along to this session as well. I will be happy to have a lot more people of your friends or known contacts who would be attending my session, and if my session benefits them, I will be more than happy. Before I proceed, am I visible and audible clearly? Can you hear me and see me clearly, everyone? Yes, can I see a thumbs up or can I see a reply? Am I audible and visible? Thanks, Pratik. Thanks, Manjari. Thanks, Bhargavi. Thanks for your response. Appreciate it. All right, so let's continue. So this slide spoke about what do you get when you subscribe to the Unacademy platform through the Plus program. These are the things you get. So please go ahead and make use of it and make the most of it. All right. And for the people who have not yet downloaded the Unacademy learning app, I request you to go to your Play Store and download the Unacademy learning app. It's quite easy to register. You just need to put your mobile number, you get an OTP, and you get registered using that OTP. It's as simple as that. And for the people who have already downloaded the Unacademy learning app and are using it, I thank you very much, and I request for your continued support in the future as well. Now, Unacademy, the Plus program of the Unacademy platform provides you various packages for various courses that are present. The courses vary from engineering to medicine to civil examinations and so on. And I am a part of the CA Inter and Foundation course. So the packages, the Unacademy Plus packages for the CA Foundation and Intermediate course are as follows. They provide packages for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. The price of those packages are given to you on your screen. I request you to go through it carefully and make an informed decision about the package you want. And personally, I would like to suggest to you to take up the 12 months or the 24 months, simply because it normally takes that much of time to prepare for a course. And remember, once you subscribe, you do not need to stick to one educator or to one particular thing. You are free to choose the various educators, various topics, various styles of teaching. And whatever style of teaching or whatever educator suits you the best, you can go ahead and listen to his sessions and also clear your doubts and talk to the educator on a real-time basis. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for you to make use of the courses, resources, and content that Unacademy has to provide to you. So while you make a subscription and the choice of what package you want, do not forget to use the code Prathik, Prathik, which will give you a discount of 10% on the subscription price. All right, Prathik, Prathik. So please go ahead, and I look forward to see you on the Unacademy platform very soon. So so clear so far, everyone? Yes, everyone's with me. All right. Now let's start off today's session. Today's session basically talks about accounting concepts, principles, conventions, and policies. Wow, it sounds pretty big. It's a big sentence, and it's got about 2 or 3 topics mentioned in here. So, but nothing to worry. It's a relatively simple topic, but it is the basic of accounting. My previous sessions have been on the meaning and scope of accounts. For the people who've attended the session, they know very well that the basic concepts and the meaning of accounting was covered. Today we go a step further. Now that you have decided, okay, accounting is the science that I need to choose. So then you need to know the accounting concepts, principles, conventions, and policies as well. Now, can anyone quickly tell me what do you mean by accounting concepts? Have you heard of that terminology before? Like accounting concepts, principles, conventions, and policies? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by accounting concepts? Anyone, please answer. And please remember, if you have any questions at any part of the session, please feel free to ask. Do not hesitate, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. And like I told you in the beginning again, like how Prathik has mentioned his topic of interest, if in case you can recollect or in case you remember any particular topic that is troubling you and you want me to take a session on that, please let me know, and I will prepare and schedule a session on it as soon as possible. Okay, so what is accounting concepts? What do you mean by the term concepts? Okay, now I think let me start explaining it. Now, accounting concept simply means there are certain practices or there are certain logics that need to be applied, which as a rule need to apply whenever an activity is done. Or concept, or let's keep accounting aside and let's talk about concept. A concept simply means a certain thing is supposed to be done a certain way. That is a concept. Okay, like for example, let me give you an example for a concept. Okay, the concept of, if you have a car, the concept of balancing your wheels. When you change the tires of your car, you need to mandatorily balance the wheels. What do you mean by balancing of wheels? Balancing of wheels simply mean that all the tires are straight when you change the tires of a car. If one tire is like this, one tire is like this, obviously your car is going to have a big problem in running. And if it manages to run that way, your car will break down sooner or later. So that is what you mean by a concept. So the concept is that whenever you change a concept can also mean a rule. So the rule is whenever you change the tires of your car, you also need to you need to balance the tires of your car. So that is a concept. Now, similarly, now let's add the word accounting to it. Similarly, accounting concept. Hello, Mrs. Shishila. How are you? Thanks for joining in. Welcome to my session. Any questions, please ask. All right. So now let's bring in accounts and accounting and put into that accounting concept. Accounting concept simply means certain rules or certain logics that are applied when you do the accounts or when you prepare the accounts of a business entity or you do a financial accounting exercise. In that case, you need to prepare you need to follow certain accounting rules or concepts. All right. Now, what are those rules and concepts? We will talk about further. Now, what do you mean by the term principles? Can anyone explain and give me an example of the term principles? What do you mean by principles? Anyone? Okay, the principles simply means certain beliefs or certain rules, again, that you follow. Rules and regulations. Yes, Pratik? Rules and regulations, yes. But please remember, these are self-imposed. These are self-imposed. Principles mean certain self-imposed rules and regulations. For example, if I don't know how many of you watch Hindi movies. Do most of you watch Hindi movies? Can I see a thumbs up of how many of you watch Hindi movies? Pratik has given me a thumbs up. What about the others? Because if most of you do not watch Hindi movies, then I will not give you the example of Hindi movies. Let me know who else follows Hindi movies or watches Hindi movies. Yes, Manjari has given me a thumbs up. Along with Manjari, who else has given me a thumbs up? All right. Who else? Pratik, Manjari, and who else follows Hindi movies? Okay. How many of you have watched the movie Mohabbatein with Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan, and even Aishwarya Rai was in that movie? It's a little old movie. It's about in the 2000s. But how many of you have watched the movie Mohabbatein? See, please remember, I'm giving you this example to explain to you what you mean by principles. Okay, so have all of you watched the movie Mohabbatein with Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan as actors in that? It was in 2000 sometime, and there was Aishwarya Rai also in that movie. Okay, so not many people have watched the movie, but anyway, let me give you the example. Now, in that, if you're in that movie, initially Shah Rukh Khan was a student, and Amitabh Bachchan was the principal of a school called Gurukul. Okay, and he was termed as a very strict and a very taskmaster kind of a principal, and someone who was very disciplined and followed a lot of rules and regulations which were self-imposed by him. The regulation, the rules that he followed, or the principles that we followed, was discipline, dedication, and another one, anushashan, pratishtha, and things like that. So that is a principle. Now, a principle means a self-imposed rule or rules and regulations which you need to follow, which has been decided by yourself for better results. Obviously, there's nothing wrong in being dedicated, committed, and sincere, because eventually it will benefit you. So that was a rule. So I think only Pratik has seen that movie. No one else has seen the movie. So let me give you another example of what you mean by principles. Okay, now all of us are preparing for our CA exams, right? So we have made certain rules and regulations that this is the time we are going to get up, this is the time we are going to study, this is the time we are going to sleep, this is the time we are going to take our break time. So you are following certain principles, right? I hope that you guys are following your timetable dedicatedly and strictly. So in that also there is a principle, right? Okay, so today I am going to study for 4 hours, and in those 4 hours I am going to finish one chapter at least, and then I will do my revision test papers, then I will do some previous year papers and all that. So that is again a principle that you're following. You're following a principle that I will not waste a single day of studies, and I will do it every day, and happen what may, I will not miss a single day. So that is also a principle. It's in a way, it's a rule and regulation. Are you clear about this? I think the Mohabbatein example did not apply to a lot of people because you don't seem to have seen that movie. Okay, and that's the movie I could think about right now. But I hope the exam preparation and the principles examples was okay. How many of you could follow it? Yes? Are you clear about what principles mean? Principle again mean a set of rules and regulations that are self-imposed for better results. Obviously, who would not want to do better? Right? Today, if I told you that, no, you should get up in the morning at 5 in the morning and study, and till 5 to 8 you should study, then 8 you should have your breakfast and this thing. So principally, if you're doing it, then it is good for you. For example, another example would be principle will be, I will practice a lot on my practical subjects like accounts. I will work out a lot of problems. I will not just read the book and solution, but I will work out a lot of problem, and principally you're doing it. So that's the principles. Now again, let's get into conventions. What do you mean by the term conventions? Can anyone explain to me? What is the meaning of the term convention? Explain convention to me. Anyone? Manjari, general accounting terms followed by people? Not exactly. Don't relate it to accounts right now. Just tell me what you mean by the term convention. Then we will bring the accounting word into it. What do you mean by convention? Anyone? Don't Google it. Give me the answer if you know it. Okay, now see, the term convention simply means a set of practices. These are not written down rules and regulations, but these are general practices that have been happening over a year, over a number of years. And because they've been happening successfully over a number of years, they tend to be followed. Yes, let me repeat. Convention simply means a set of practices that have been carried on for some time, and over a period of time, people have been carrying it out so much and so successfully that it becomes a part of your actions. Now, what are the examples of convention? Can anyone give me an example of certain practices that have become conventions? Anything? Let me give you an example. Now, how many of you have seen these old scooters that we had, the Bajaj scooters? Bajaj Chetak, Vespa. Have you heard of them? LML, yes. Pratik seems to have heard a lot about these things. He's into movies. He's into scooters. So nice, Pratik. Have the others heard about the scooter called Vespa or Bajaj Chetak? Now, yes, Manjari and one more person have heard about it. Very good. Okay. So now what happened? See, there has been a certain practice that has been carried on from a long time. Uh, Earlier, when the scooter did not start, people used to kickstart. Now you get a self start, right? But earlier the scooters had only a kickstart. So you kickstart, and it doesn't start. So what they used to do with the scooter, they used to tilt it in one side for about 20 seconds. And 1 second, they used to tilt it for about tilt it in the side for about 20 seconds, and then they used to kickstart, and then it used to work. Please remember, this exercise used to be done in the 90s, it used to be done in the 20s, and even now, when some of the latest scooters also do not work, like your Honda Activa or this thing, like people still try it. So again, this has become a convention, it has become a practice, that even though there is no rule, the scooter manual will never talk or say that if your scooter does not start, please tilt it on one side for 20 seconds, and then kickstart it will start. No, but this exercise has been followed since 20 odd years, 30 odd years successfully, and that is the reason why even today it is being followed. So that is a convention. That's a similar convention. There was a joke. I don't know if you would want to know a joke, but there was a joke that once there were three people. I mean, do you want to know a joke? If you do not want to know a joke, I will not tell you. Like Manjari says, like parampara in Hindi. Exactly. Parampara, pratishtha, anushasan. That is what Amitabh Bachchan said in Mohabbatein as well. All right. So if you have not seen the movie, please go ahead and see the movie. That's what he says. All right. Parampara is tradition. So it's convention. Yes. So parampara also, because people have been doing a certain exercise since many years without maybe even knowing the actual meaning of it, but over the years it becomes a practice, and then that practice is difficult to change. All right. Hi Chirag, thanks for joining my session. Welcome to my session. Any doubts so far we haven't even started about the topic, but I want you to be clear about what do you mean by concepts, principles, conventions, and we'll talk about policies. Any question? Manjari, Pratik, Ritija, any question? Bhargavi, any question? Okay, so can we continue? So you're clear about what a convention is, right? Now let's come to policies. Now policies again are certain rules that have been framed, all right? And the company needs to follow those rules. So those are your policies. Now, for example, the government comes up with various policies every year, right? That you're supposed to do this in your income tax act and you're not supposed to do that in your income tax act. So that is a policy. And who has created the policy? The government has created the policy, and you're supposed to value it, respect it, and follow it. In case you're not following it, then you will be penalized. Pratik, for the parliament, by the parliament for the India. What are you talking about? What is the point? What is done by the parliament for the India? Can you explain, Pratik? Yes. So the policy is not exactly for the parliament, but generally there are a lot of regulatory authorities in India which frame policies. Okay, and then those policies are rolled out to the people. And hi Aryan, thanks for joining. You've just joined. Like, yes, you are a little late by about 20-25 minutes, but that's okay. You can catch up. We are still about to start the topic discussion for the day, so that's okay. Please stay back. And if you have not pressed the follow button on my profile on Unacademy, I request you to do so. Yes, Pratik, like MCA, yes, MCA also comes up with a lot of policies as to how the company should be incorporated or what are the amendments to the Companies Act. Those are policies as well. All right. So now now just put in the term accounting to all of this. So then your accounting concept, your concepts, principles, rules and regulations, your practices, and again rules and regulations become accounting practices and rules and regulations which you need to follow when you prepare your accounts. Now these, some of them have been carried on by practice, and some of them have been specifically told to you to be followed. Any questions so far before we start into the topic? Any questions? Are you clear about what concepts, principles, conventions, and policies mean? Yes? All right. Charlie, let's proceed. Now, introduction. Let us imagine a situation where you are a proprietor and you take copies of your books of accounts to 5 different accountants. You ask them to prepare the financial statements on the basis of the above records and to calculate the profits of the business for the year. After a few days, they are ready with the financial statements, and all the 5 accountants have calculated 5 different amounts of profits, and that too with wide variations among them. Now, let me explain what I just read to you. Let's say you have your books, all your journal entries, trial balances ready, okay, and you take that trial balance and your basically transaction information to 5 different accountants, and you tell them that, okay, my trial balance is ready, please prepare the balance sheet and profit and loss account, and you give them some time. So you have given them about 2 or 3 weeks time, and then all of them call you up and they say, yes sir, that your accounts are done, please come and check. So you go one fine day to all 5 of them and you collect your profit and loss and your balance sheet account, and to your very surprise, unpleasant surprise, all 5 profit and losses give you different profit amounts, different losses amounts, and your balance sheet gives you different figures. Not all, but a few different figures. Hi Disha Gupta, thanks for joining in. Welcome to my session. Okay, so now will that worry you? If I was in your position, definitely I will be worried, because I have given the same set of information to 5 different accountants, but the balance sheet and profit and loss account that has been prepared by all of them is different. So in that case, now, yes, sir, how these profits are different? Because if profit is different, then balance sheet is not matched. Exactly the point, Pratik. Very good. If your profit is not the same, obviously your balance sheet balance will also be different. It will not necessarily, it will not match, but your balance sheets might match. The balance sheets of the different accountants might match, but they will have different numbers. That's exactly my point. That will worry me. Now you tell me, if that happens with you, are you happy with it? Will you be okay with it? Definitely you will not be okay with it, because in that case the 5 different people would have treated the items in your trial balance differently. They would have done it as per their understanding, right? Whatever the 5 different accountants understood, they would have treated it or entered it in that way. Now, to avoid this situation, accounting body or the accounting profession had to bring in convention, concepts, principles, and policies, so that there is uniformity in all the work that all the accountants do. There is no discrepancy or difference. When the same set of information is given to more than one accountant, then the end result should be the same. To enable this, or in order to get the same result, a set of rules and regulations, conventions, and principles were formed. Now, are you clear why these conventions, rules, regulations, policies, procedures are important? Everyone, are you clear? Any question? Please ask me. Because if these were not there, then there would have been a difference. Let me give you another example. Today, every country, there is a terminology called GAAP. How many of you have heard GAAP? This is again, it's not in part of, maybe we will discuss about this when we discuss about accounting standards. But how many of you have heard about the term GAAP? G for Goa, A for America, P for Pune. GAAP. It means generally accepted accounting principles. Yes, Pratik, now you've heard it. I just said it. All right. So now GAAP simply means generally accepted accounting principles. So every country in the world will have its own GAAP, or at least I believe most of the countries have their own GAAP. Even India has its own GAAP, which is called Indian GAAP. GAAP is called GAAP. So India has its own GAAP, which is Indian Generally Accepted Accounting Policies. Hi Shruti, thanks for joining my session. Welcome to my session. Okay, so there is similarly US has US GAAP. Similarly, you will say Germany has their own German GAAP. Or hi Divya, thanks for joining into my session. Welcome to my session. And just in case you haven't yet followed my profile on the Unacademy app, I request you to follow my profile so that you get real-time alerts about my sessions, the topic and the timings of the same. Thanks for joining once again. Okay. So similarly, the different countries, UK will have its own GAAP called UK GAAP. Now, just imagine if a particular company has a branch in India, it has a branch in US, it has a branch in UK, it has a branch in Germany. Now, obviously, those countries will prepare the accounts in that country as per their local GAAP. GAAP again is generally accepted accounting principles. All right. So if you look at all four accounts in one place, obviously there will be a discrepancy or a difference in the way items are treated. Correct? You agree with me so far? Because every country is following their own GAAP. For this purpose, there was a GAAP called IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, that were introduced, which slowly is coming up, where all the countries or most of the countries in the world will have to follow it. Okay, it will come up eventually. So this also is being done so that world over, the accounts are prepared using the same policy, procedures, and principles. Now, for example, one thing what I can think of is in India, I think so, Pratik, Nepal and Dubai may also have their own GAAP. I have never got the opportunity of going for an accounting assignment there or an audit assignment there, but I'm sure they will be having their own GAAP and accounting policies. Yes. Okay, it's quite possible. Now, so to avoid this, I said IFRS will be coming in or will come in slowly, will take over so that the accounts prepared world over are the same. And like I was telling you one example I can think of is for the people who know US GAAP. I think one of the people, I think Manjari or someone is versed with US taxation, right? I think Manjari, you are a little aware about US taxation, if I'm not mistaken, right? Please confirm. Manjari? Okay, that maybe it was someone else, maybe it was Kalpana. All right. So in India, we follow the financial year 1st April to 31st March. Okay, Pratik, I'll just come to that. So because in India we follow the financial year 1st April to 31st March, but in the US they follow the calendar year, that is 1st Jan to December 31st. So then again that becomes a problem. In US it is a calendar year and here it is a financial year. So somewhere down the line maybe IFRS will be introduced in all the countries for a specific class of companies so that there is uniformity in the accounting that happens world over. Okay, now coming to Pratik, because there is also CA course which is under India GAAP. See the Indian CA course is under the Indian GAAP, right? In India, you will learn the Indian generally accepted accounting principles. Why will you learn any other country's GAAP? So in India, it is there. In Nepal, if they are offering, in Dubai, if they are offering a CA course with Indian GAAP, maybe there. I'm not aware of it. I will need to check on that and get back to you. Is that the point you're trying to make? Okay, so now are we clear with this slide that why do we require uniform set of accounting principles, policies, conventions and practices? Yes. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, accounting concepts, like I said, concept is a sort of an informal rule or a rule that you need to follow. Accounting concepts is defined as the assumptions on which certain financial statements of a business entity are prepared. Certain concepts are perceived. Hi, Rohan. Thanks for joining my session. Welcome to my session. Certain concepts are perceived, assumed, and accepted in accounting to provide a unified structure and internal logic to accounting process. The word concept means an idea or notion which has universal application. Financial transactions are interpreted in the light of concepts which govern accounting methods. Hello, Rohan. Okay. Concepts are those basic assumptions and conditions which form the basis upon which the accountancy has been laid. Unlike physical science, accounting concepts are only result of broad consensus. Broad consensus simply mean broad acceptance. So if a particular practice or something has been broadly accepted, it becomes a concept or a convention. Okay. These accounting concepts lay the foundation on the basis of which the accounting principles are formulated. So like I told you, again, these are sort of unwritten rules or certain concepts that need to be followed in order to uniformly give you the same result. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, what do we mean by accounting principles? Unifying structure. Unifying structure simply means, Pratik, when the 5 accountants do something for the same data, they should give me a uniform result. They should give me the same result. They should not give me 5 different results. And for that, you require certain accounting concepts that and assumptions that all of them need to uniformly follow. Unifying structure simply means uniformity in following. Are you clear? Hi, Arshada. Thanks for joining my session. Welcome to my session. Okay. Now, what do you mean by accounting principles? Accounting principles are a body of doctrines. Doctrines are again beliefs commonly associated with the theory and procedures of accounting, serving as an explanation of the current practices and as a guide for selection of conventions or procedures where alternative exists. Now, like I told you, accounting principles are certain self-imposed rules or certain self-imposed practices that you need to follow in order to get uniform results or better results. Accounting principles must satisfy the following conditions. They should be based on real assumptions. They must be simple, understandable, and explanatory. They must be followed consistently. They should be able to reflect future predictions, and they should be informational for the users. Now, whatever are your beliefs or whatever are the things that you follow, you should be able to follow it consistently. And the reason why you follow it should be sound. There should be a valid reason why you're following it. If you're just following something for the sake of following it, it makes no sense. Whatever you follow or whatever you believe in, you should be following it for a reason. They must be simple, understandable, and explanatory. It should not be a very complex principle. The principle should be easy. Okay, and they should be able to reflect future predictions, which simply means that they should also be able to be used in the future, not only for current and past data, but also for the future. They should be helpful and they should be informational for the users. There should be a purpose for it. If particular principles are just there for the sake of it, I mean, okay, I'm bored, let me start a principle. It doesn't work like that. That principle should be informational and of use to the users. In case it is not of use to the users, it is of no use to anyone. Are you clear? Take about 30 seconds and read the slide, and then we will continue. What do you mean by accounting conventions? Conventions, like I told you, were certain practices, right? Accounting conventions emerge out of accounting practices, commonly known as accounting principles adopted by various organizations over a period of time. Like I told you again, accounting principles are self-imposed rules. Accounting conventions are practices followed by people. These conventions are derived by usage and practice. The accountancy bodies of the world may change any of the convention to improve the quality of the accounting information. Accounting conventions need not have universal application. In the study material, the terms accounting concepts, accounting principles, and accounting conventions have been used interchangeably to mean those basic points of agreement to which financial accounting theory and practice may be founded. So if from this slide you will observe that the terms accounting concepts, accounting principles, and accounting conventions mean pretty much the same, and these terms have been used interchangeably, right, in the various accounting journals and accounting study material. They have been used interchangeably, so do not try to break your head too much into what it is. Accounting concepts, accounting principles, and accounting conventions are used interchangeably, while I have already explained the meaning of them to you. Any questions so far? Any questions? Anyone? Any questions? Okay, let's start off with the concepts, principles, and conventions and overview. Entity concept. Now, this is the first concept. Please pay attention. You will need to remember these concepts, and you will need to follow these concepts whenever you're doing any accounting assignment or you start off. What do you mean by the entity concept? Entity concept state that business enterprise is a separate identity apart from its owner. The accountant should treat a business as distinct from its owner. Business transactions are recorded in the business books of accounts and owner's transaction in his personal book of accounts. This concept helps in keeping business affairs free from the influence of the personal affairs of the owner. This basic concept is applied to all the organizations, whether sole proprietorship or partnership or corporate entities. Entity concept means that the enterprise is liable to the owner for capital investment made by the owner. Now, this is a very important concept, and I want you to listen to it carefully. Entity concept simply means that when you prepare the accounts of an organization or a business entity, you need to treat the entity's accounts. Hello, Surendra Sharma. Thanks for joining my session. Welcome. When you prepare the entity's accounts, it should be kept separate from the accounts of the owner. Now, the owner could be the partner in a partnership firm. It could be a proprietor in the proprietorship firm. It could be the shareholder or the director in case of a company. But please remember, both these accounts cannot be mixed. A company is liable to the owner of the company or proprietorship concern or partnership firm only to the extent of the capital and nothing more. So in case ideally, in case the proprietor has paid his children's school fees, that transaction should not come into the company books of accounts or the firm's books of accounts until and unless the amount has been paid from the company or firm's money. In case the fees has been paid from the company's bank account or the firm's bank account, in that case you will record the transaction. But in case he has paid it out of his own personal cash, that transaction will not form a place in the company's books of accounts. So the company's books of accounts are completely distinct and separate from the owner's books of accounts, and they should not normally be mixed. Please take 30 seconds, read the slide, and ask me if you have any questions. I'll be free to answer them. Any questions, please ask. This concept is applied to all forms of organizations, whether proprietorship, whether partnership, or whether a private limited company. The entity concept has to be applied when you prepare the accounts of the entity. Are you clear? Okay, the next is a very important concept which you need to remember. Again, money measurement concept. I have explained this point earlier in my earlier sessions, as well as the meaning and scope of accounting. I will repeat it again. Please remember, in financial accounting, only transactions involving money will be recorded, or transactions involving economic benefits. In case of assets and liabilities, those will be recorded. But if a transaction does not involve money, it will not form part of your trial balance, balance sheet, and P&L. I repeat, any transaction which is measurable in terms of money alone will be included in your financial accounts. And if it cannot be measured in terms of money, then that will not form part of your balance sheet, P&L, and trial balance. Is that clear? Now, for example, there might be a lot of employees who join the company, and there might be double the employees who leave the company. So that company is having a lot of attrition. You call it attrition. When high number of employees join and high number of employees leave, that is called attrition rate. So if a company has high attrition, please remember it's a cause of concern, because it involves in a lot of unnecessary spending on behalf of the company. Why spending? Because just imagine, if you have hired a lot of people, there are hiring charges. You might not directly hire them. You might hire them through other employment agencies. So you need to pay them, and then those companies get you the candidates. Then you interview those candidates, spend a lot of time in training them, and you keep them. And if they do not even stay with your company for 3 months or 6 months and they leave, please remember all that cost has gone down the drain. And whatever salary you've paid to them also has gone down the drain to a large extent, because when you were training them for a particular purpose, they did not stay back till that purpose. They left, right? And then when new people join your company, when people leave, there is a cost. When people join, there is a cost. All this is a problem, and a lot of big companies take this situation very seriously as to why so many people are leaving my company and why so many people are joining my company. But even though it is such a serious situation, this whole event of people leaving and going will not be reflected in your profit and loss and balance sheet, simply because a person leaving and a person joining cannot be strictly measured in monetary terms. Now you might tell me, no sir, if he's joining, then whatever I pay to the employment agency is I can recognize, or whatever salary I'm paying to him I can recognize. But not exactly, right? Because in the process you're taking in work from that person as well. If he's staying in your company for 1 month, 2 months, you have taken out services from him as well. He was not just sitting on the bench. And then even your employment agency, if you have paid them, they are also providing a lot of other consulting services. So that cost cannot be directly attributed to your candidate alone. So even though this is a very serious situation, this will not form part of your balance sheet and profit and loss, simply because these transactions cannot be measured in terms of money. Are you clear? Can anyone else give me any other example of a transaction which is not measurable in terms of money, but it is quite a serious transaction? Anything else? Just give me an answer. If you can think of any other transaction which is not measurable in money, but very important for a company. I have already thought about an event. Now it's your turn. Tell me if you have thought about anything. Tell me. Anyone? No? Okay, let me give you another example. Now, let's say you have a factory of, Manjri Jadhav, natural disaster. No. See, for natural disaster, definitely, if you have lost, your building is damaged, or you've lost your assets or anything, those can be measured, and you can say, right, a loss due to earthquake or loss due to flood. So whatever assets you have lost in the process can be measured in terms of money, correct? So not exactly. Natural disaster, no. Okay, a person named Pareshan Atma has just joined the session. Thank you. That's an interesting name. Hi. Thank you so much for joining it. All right. So one example is, let's say you're running a factory. Strikes. Exactly, Divya. I was just coming to that. Let's say, good. Most welcome, Pareshan Atma. Now, let's say you're running a factory and you're manufacturing mobiles, and you get a big order. Now, suddenly your employees go on a strike. Your employees say, tomorrow onwards, we're not working. Otherwise, unless you triple my salary. Well, it may not be possible. But then, whatever loss of orders that you've had due to that strike will not be reflected in your profit and loss account and balance sheet, because simply the strike cannot be measured in terms of money, right? Even though you have had a loss, a huge loss, but can you measure or quantify the amount of loss that you've had due to that strike, due to that 3, 4, 5 days or 1 week in which the employees did not work? Can you measure it? Not exactly. Because again, production is a very subjective matter. You cannot quantify the amount of losses that have happened to you. Exactly so. Those will not be strictly shown into your profit and loss account or your balance sheet. Are you clear? So I repeat, only those transactions which are measurable in terms of money are shown in your balance sheet and your profit and loss account. Clear? Okay. As per this concept, only those transactions which can be measured in terms of money are recorded. Since money is the medium of exchange and the standard of economic value, this concept requires that those transactions alone that are capable of being measured in terms of money to be only recognized in the books of accounts. Transactions, even if they affect the results of the business materially, are not recorded if they are not convertible in monetary terms. Yes. जी परेशान आत्मा, थैंक यू। आज आपकी पहली क्लास है मेरे साथ। आशा करता हूं कि आप उसे यूजफुल पाएं एंड आपकी सहायता करें मेरी क्लासेस। अगर मेरी सहायता करें तो प्लीज मेरे प्रोफाइल पे जाकर मेरे उसे फॉलो कर दीजिए सो दैट आपको आगे की क्लासेस के बारे में भी पता चल जाए जब भी क्लासेस हो। थैंक यू सो मच। ओके, नेक्स्ट, periodicity complex concept. Okay, this is also called the concept of a definite accounting period. As per going concern concept, an indefinite period life of the entity is assumed. For a business entity, it causes inconvenience to measure performance achieved by the entity in the ordinary course of business. Now, simply, the going concern concept I will explain in future, but right now just let's talk about periodicity complex concept. The periodicity concept simply means that the accounting statement should be prepared after a regular period or a regular interval. If your company has started 4 years ago, you cannot prepare the accounts for 4 years together. Then there's no use. So you need to prepare it either half yearly or full yearly, and then you need to have 4 different financial statements for you to take comparative statement. So the periodicity concept simply says the accounting statements or the financial statements should be prepared period wise for separate periods. Are you clear? Yes? Thank you, Parishan Atma. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Now let's come to an important concept called accrual concept. How many of you have heard of the term accrual concept? Anyone of you can explain the accrual concept? Please remember, accrual concept is a very important concept in accounting and you need to know it. This is applicable in all your forms of accounts, even your partnership accounts, your joint stock companies, your proprietorship accounts, every kind of account. You need to know what an accrual concept is. Does anyone know what accrual concept is? Don't Google it. Answer me if you know it. Okay, now let me take an example which I always use. You have 10,000 rupees in your pocket, okay, and you go and buy a mobile phone. So you went into the mobile store and you paid him 10,000 and you got a mobile. So what are the things that have happened immediately? Immediately you have paid him the cash and you've got the mobile, correct? So you do not owe any more money to that person who is selling the mobile. Agreed? Now let's take another situation. You walk into the mobile store and you have 10,000 in your pocket, but you like a mobile that is 15,000 rupees. Will that guy give it to you? Maybe not. Maybe he will give it to you. Let's say he's a known person to you and you tell him, Baba, I have just 10,000 with me right now. In a week's time, I'm getting another 5,000. I will transfer 5,000 to you that time. Let me take the mobile right now. So he has two choices, the shopkeeper. Either he will tell you, no, sir, pay the entire 15,000 and go, or I will not give you the mobile. Fair enough. Or the next option he has is, okay, sir, please give me your address, mobile number, everything, and let me raise a bill. And out of 15,000, 10,000 you have paid me. The remaining 5,000, please pay me after a week. That's fine. Now, what happened on the first basis? The first basis was a cash transaction where you paid him cash. Coincidentally, you paid him cash on the same day and you took the mobile. Excuse me. But what happened in the second case? You went on, let's say you went on 1st August to his shop, you bought the mobile, you paid him 10,000 rupees, and there was a balance of 5,000 that you had to pay him, which you did not pay him. Now, in this case, when you come back and you have to account it in your books, how much will you account the mobile for? Will you account the mobile for 10,000? Will you account it for 15,000? Or will you account it for zero? Can you give me an answer? What is the value of the mobile phone in your accounts? The value of the mobile in your accounts will be 15,000 rupees. Agreed? Now, out of those 15,000 rupees, how much have you paid? Yes, Manjari, exactly. How much of in that 15,000 rupees, how much did you pay the shopkeeper? 10,000. How much you still have to pay the shopkeeper? 5,000. So in your books of accounts, you will show that mobile purchased for 15,000, cash paid 10,000, and cash payable to shopkeeper 5,000. So in this case, what have you done? You have accounted this entry on an accrual basis. Please remember, accrual basis means as and when it occurs, not as and when you receive or pay. It means as and when it occurs. Okay, so when did the transaction of mobile purchase happen? Today. So you have to account for it today. How much of cash did you pay him today? 10,000. So you have to account for it today. How much do you still have to pay him? Hi Devashish, thanks for joining in my session. Welcome to my session. How much do you still have to pay him today? 5,000. So that has to be entered today. You cannot enter this transaction after a week when you pay him. After a week when you pay him, you will also have to make another entry saying cash paid to shopkeeper. In that case, that 5,000 rupees liability, what you had to pay to him, will be nullified. Are you clear what accrual concept means? Yes. Now the same thing applies for income as well. Yes, Manjri, income is recorded when it accrues. Yes, exactly. All right. Same thing happens when you have income as well. Let's say you have sold goods to a customer on credit. So what do you mean by that? When you sell goods to someone on credit, do you receive the money immediately? No, you receive the money after 2 months, after 3 months. So it's not possible for you to put the entry after 3 months. You need to put the entry today. So today, what will you say? Sales 50,000. But if that 50,000 is going to come to you after 3 months, you will say receivable or due from customer 50,000. That will be your entry. So please remember this double entry system. You have for each transaction, you have to place it in 2 places. So first place is sales of 50,000 and second one is due from customer 50,000. Are you clear? So that is what you mean by accrual basis. Please remember this line. Accrual basis means as and when it occurs, not as and when it is paid or received. Clear? When I say as and when it occurs, it means the hi Mustafa, thanks for joining my session. Welcome. A little late, but still, thanks for joining in. Okay, so as and when it occurs means either the income or the expense. As and when it occurs, you need to record it in your books of accounts. All right, are we clear? Any questions so far? Any questions? Anyone? If there is no questions, probably we will end with this slide. That is your accrual concept. We will discuss the fundamental accounting assumptions in part 2. That will happen subsequently. All right. So I once again thank everyone, and I request all of you who have followed my profile on the Unacademy app. For the people who have not done it, please go to the Unacademy app and follow my profile to get live updates about what session I'm going to take and when I'm going to take it, so that you're on time and never miss it. And for the people who have not yet downloaded the Unacademy Learning app, I request you to download the Unacademy app from your Play Store and register on it through using a OTP that will be sent to your mobile phones. There is a plus subscription of Unacademy, which provides packages to you for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. The rates for those are given to you in the slides provided. I request you to choose the subscription plan of your choice and subscribe to the Unacademy Plus platform. preferably the 12 months and 24 months program. And while doing your subscription, please do not forget to use the code Prathik, Prathik, which will get you a discount of 10% on the subscription price. And in case you have any other questions and any other observations or any other feedback, please let me know. I will be continuing this session very soon as Accounting Concepts, Principles and Policies Part 2. So stay tuned for that. And like Prathik already told me that he wants a session on admission accounts, partnership accounts, on concepts clarity, I will be doing that. Divya says consignment account कब करवाओगे? मैंने आपसे पूछा था, आपने बताया नहीं. तो आप अगर बताएंगे तो I will take up a session on consignment accounts also very soon. Do you want me to take up, Divya? Do you want me to take a session specifically on consignment accounts? If yes, please let me know, because I will be preparing the concepts classes on partnership accounts as well, as Pratik requested me. Hi Aditya Srivastav, thanks for joining in. Hi Shiv, thanks for joining in, even though a little late, but still thank you for joining in. Welcome. Yes, Divya, you can answer me. Do you want me to? Yes, with Performa. All right. So I will be preparing on a session on consignment accounts as well as partnership accounts. That's okay, Shiv. You still made it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, so I will be taking up further sessions on consignment accounts as well as partnership accounts concepts very soon. Stay tuned and please follow my profile on Unacademy to get real-time updates. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you all as a wonderful audience, and I hope I could help all of you. Thank you so much. Take care and see you soon.